All right, so we're going to talk about the hip. You're going to need something like this, and you're going to need some kind of setup like the band. I've got on my reverse hyper, and then some kind of block to set up on. It's something elevated. A bench works fine. I'm going to show you on this box, but we're going to need to get above and below the axis of rotation of the hip. So let me get this set up. All right, here we go. So I'm going to be over on the box. You're going to need this ball, and we'll start above the hip. So anything kind of belly button over to the iliac crest and down is fair game. So start on the right side. I like to do it elevated like this because you can use your other foot to help create extra pressure if you need to, and then you can grab the box and pull in and get in some reverse hyper kind of look to it, keeping the toe straight down. Don't let it open up like this. And just soften it up. All we're doing right now is just soften up some of this muscle, fascia, and skin tissue, and just creating a tack and stretch under pressure. Just think like ART, basically. So getting above, then getting in that very high femur, where we can work on those really high attachments of the quadriceps. You can get into the kind of the groin, sartorius, all those muscles that come around, and you can do those same things after you just do some softening, working side to side, pulling back on the leg, just stretching it open, okay? Then, just a minute or two on each side. Then, we're going to spend, bring this closer to the edge, there we go. So, same thing about the hip with the band. Hold up high. These are really just the best ways to work on this, okay? Let me get rid of this, there we go. Stay back into that lunge, about as tight as you can. Don't worry so much about couch stretch, that's good too, but I want this to be a little more active to really open this up. So what we're really thinking about is keeping this butt as squeezed as we can. That toe should be straight ahead or even pointed in slightly, the one behind you, and just focusing on pulling the ribcage down, take those deep breaths in, and just sitting down, straight down. So you got to get your feet, there we go. And all we're focused on is just this split squat idea. Just sitting straight down. You don't have to get that knee to the ground, but just working on straight up and down. You can even do some things here that make it a little more challenging. Grabbing the hands like this and holding the hands overhead and just working on that same shape. And then you can work side to side, and then you can also just keep that butt squeezed, keep the legs stationary, and just lean back over it and work above the hip. So this is going to work more of the stuff below the hip, and this is going to help open up more of those things above the hip. You can grab on like this, pull, you'll figure it out, all right? And the last thing to do to pattern some of this work in, okay, sorry for all the movement. It's just the old split squat. So, just having some kind of brick or stair. Getting that leg elevated and behind you, toe planted forward, butt tight. Hop that leg out in front of you. And just like with the band over there, keeping that butt squeezed and sitting down, straight down, back up. Make sure this front leg, that knee stays in line with the foot, doesn't wobble around. And this back leg, we're just going as far as you can, where you can just sit straight down and you don't start to compensate with lean forward because you're so stiff. Feel free to hold dumbbells by your sides. Hold them in the front rack, hold them overhead. Each one will challenge that torso position a little more. The stuff with the band and the ball is probably best done like the night before you're going to squat or deadlift, and then I would throw in some of those weighted split squat stuff as an accessory movement after your main lift. If you can just get in 2 or 3 sets of 10 each side with fairly challenging dumbbells, will be plenty. All right, later.